that is exiting in northwest part of Taylor County right now. This right here should be still, I said, Fickley Mill in Gerald. It's coming right upon you now. So I say I get back to this, and it makes it difficult when you got 4 in a row here. But for Georgia counties before it exits, seek shelter immediately. Gerald, this tornado is almost on top of you. It's showing some rapid circulation intensification in Fickley Mill. And this is just something that you just want to keep an eye on, okay? And make sure there's no damaging wind. If you've got trees around, this is the kind of hazards that come down. These trees will topple quite easily with that kind of wind, and we want you to be safe. Marion County, we got some strong winds potentially headed towards Georgia Highway 240 connector. Tazewell, make sure around Charing and Mock, Buffalo Simon or Skywatcher there, it's south of you. He'll be watching that. Don't go outside, but there's some strong winds with that. I don't see a tornado with that. But we're back across northwest Barber County and going into eventually Russell County. We got to watch where there's potential of tornadoes here and one lifting into Barber County right now. So we got 2 Barber County potential tornadoes. Although the radar indicated now, they got a lot of strong gusty winds with them and a potential being damaging winds. So you got one here, one coming out of Pike County, now moving across county line and going into Barber County in that next couple of scans here. Each one of these can produce some tornadoes and damaging wind, and we hit a lot of population in here right along this region. So Star Hill, Garmin Crossroads for around 5:02 Central Time. So that's about 20-25 minutes for you all for that area as well. So we're going to keep that in mind as well. We're going to check Coweta County. We're looking down here south, and at this point, Taylor County appears to be weakening now, and it'll probably re-intensify. So we're going to get off of the Taylor County tornado as it's leaving our viewing area. And we'll be watching down near Fort Gaines. We're going to watch Clay County here for the energy coming out of Healdsburg, out of Henry County. And we're still locked into Barber County and Russell County. We got now we got damaging wind potential here. You definitely got right around County Road 49 going towards Glenville. This could be some strong damaging winds. So if you were in this area to Glenville, Pittsview, and Russell County, 13 minutes after the hour, you may want to certainly seek shelter immediately on that. Just get yourself in a safe spot. That could produce a tornado, but there's damaging wind with that. That is an outflow, strong wind boundary on that. Going back across the Mount Andrew area as well, too. This is Mount Silla Church Road, South Road in Barber County. Keep this in mind here as well. This one here still has circulation with it. South Road, if you're around County Road, I'm going to take you County Road 49. County Road 49. And that's what we're going to watch for right there. If you're in County Road, Grant Road, Mary C. Smith Road, you want to seek shelter immediately right now for the potential not only tornado but damaging wind. That would put you right around that trajectory there. And it's all south, it's all north of Dixon Road, but Grant Road area and just clipping parts of Russell County. Now we're going to go down outside of Pike. County Road 44 is what we need to be watching right now. And I'm going to have Kaylee take a look at these two here, and you could go ahead and give us a little analysis on that.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on actually 3 areas of rotation within this tornado warning for Russell County. We have this first one that's moving through Russell County right now. Let me put a track on it for you. As it moves towards Star Hill, if you are not already in your safe place, please go ahead and get in your safe place. It will be in your area in Star Hill by 4:52 p.m. That's only roughly 5 minutes to get into your safe place. Garmin Crossroads, it will be into your area by 5 p.m. That's only 15 minutes. Mount Andrew, 5:05. So this is a fast-moving storm. This is the storm system on the back end of this tornado warning. We actually have another area of rotation near Mount Andrew, currently crossing over State Route 51 right now. And if I put a track on this one, as it approaches County Road 49, it is traveling along County Road 49. So if you are on this, you are already probably seeing some very strong winds right now and even a little bit of rotation. And it will be in Comer by 4:59 Central Time. So this is traveling very fast. And we have a third area of rotation a little bit further northeast. There we go. This is not as strong. You can see it is starting to weaken just a little bit as it exits from Russell County. Now, we do have Barber, Bullock, and Pike under tornado warnings, hail of almost 3/4 of an inch. We do not have any damage reports right now, but we do expect those to start rolling in soon. And this is until 5:30 Central Time.
Yeah, there's a tremendous amount of wind, and you can see the reflectivity, as Kaylee was just pointing out. You can see the bright colors here. So at Barber County, in northwest Barber County, really has seen the crux of this, and there's not just one, but there's two, and then a third one. With this coming in, this is right along Alabama State Route 239, just to the south of that, as she pointed out, coming out of Pike County, and it's now in Barber County. So everything's in Barber County now on these two. The damaging wind threat in northeast parts right now of Barber County. So tracking this is like in three segments. We could take the one down here coming out of Pike County, as Kaylee pointed out. We'll track it from there all the way up across the areas going into Russell County. So Barber County is what we're focused on now, south of Midway. And you can see some of the towns that we want to highlight here. Star Hill, Garmin, Crossroads, Batesville, Hawkinsville, Persons, and Pittsview, which would take you right into areas around Russell County to about 46 minutes after the hour. Okay, so this is all central time, and so we want everyone to understand. So 50 minutes after, we'll be looking at, that's right almost on top of you, 57 minutes after. Next half hour would be 23 minutes after, as you can see. So this is pretty much ongoing through this time as it continues to go there. We'll take it now on the central one right here. And they don't want to go completely gate to gate on these. And when we see this kind of tilt, rotate this way, then we know we have a strong tornado. That's why it's radar indicated now. Anything can happen at any time. It could be nothing, then all of a sudden a tornado drops. So that's why we have to stay on it to give you a heads up, because there's no other way of going about this. But the technology is so good that we can be able to do this, but frustrating on another hand because we know so much information. So Comer area, you're on this one here. That would be more soon rather than later from the one farther south, and that would be 56 minutes after the hour. So again, it's less than 10 minutes away for you, Central Time, and it leaves northeast parts of Barber County. And the reason why we're putting it in Russell County, because this is moving so fast, the potential damaging wind. We're going to go potentially Stewart County, but really around Hirsch and Persons. We'll keep it right around areas outside, more in the Russell County area. Bullock County, you're not in this at all, even though it looks like it's moving that direction. All this is south and east of that, although Bullock County is being flagged in here, part of the, of course, the part of this polygon. So Bullock County, residents here were pretty good. So if you're in Hurtsboro, you're fine right now. This is all southeast of you as we speak. And Pike is out of it, Bullock and Barber. So Barber's really the main focus in Russell County as we continue to track here, Kaylee. And again, those two are both in the extreme northwest part. Clayton, you're clear. Eufaula, you're clear. Clio, you're clear. Again, northwest part of Barber County, coming out of Barber County, that wind potential damage is coming across County Line Road and the county areas here once you get into Russell County. Stewart will watch it. There's potential Stewart seeing some strong gusty winds there. And once we get into, not quite Richland, but Stewart County around Omaha across the river. And that's the two that we're looking at right now. As far as our one farther north in Taylor and Talbot County, that's all wind. It's moving in one direction. It's some good news. So they're clear of that. So, and it's out of the News 3 viewing area. The only one that we're looking at are farther south here for these in northwest areas of Barber County as we speak. And at this point, we're not seeing any sort of damage or anything else that's just popping up on that as well.
Reports so far. We just had the tornado warning for Barber and Bullock.
Now we got this, of course, the severe thunderstorm warning down here now. So that includes our Fort Gaines area and outside of Henry, get into Clay County. And this is the one that came out of areas around Henry County here outside of Dothan. That's still so far southeast, I'm not even concerned about. Clay could still possibly see something. I don't know if it's more central here. It looks like there's two areas of rotation to the south and to the central, but I'm not at this point. We'll focus on it. We'll keep an eye on it. But right now, it looks like what we have up here. Let's zoom in here and get street level up here in Barber County. There you go. That's starting to look more it's getting more circulation out. See, if we're saying anything on County 49?
We have a possible touchdown on this one just south of Comer right now.
Okay, that's looking more like it. So that's why we stay on these. It's getting more, and they circulate like this. They're going to do it. So what we'll do is I'm going to stay here. We're going to go ahead and hit what we, just see if there's any debris signature first. And there is a little debris with this. So there potentially, and Chuck Williams is familiar with this area. County Road 49 north of that and Grant Road, Chuck, there's some neighborhoods here. They're kind of sparse, a lot of agriculture. But there's some debris possibly, potentially trees or whatever. It's very, very heavily wooded, but there's a lot of residents in here. And so if you're here, as Kaylee just pointed out, potential of seeing some possible loftiness here. So we're watching this closely. So I'm going to go ahead and let's just do this here. Let's see if we can go ahead and give a quick. Yeah, if you're in Comer, I would take, and it's 58 minutes. So 6 minutes out, this potential tornado on the ground here, we're starting to see that is not looking good. So seek shelter immediately. Anyone around that whole track, please get in your safe spot. Enough walls between you and the outside, okay? So that includes Grant Road residents, northwest parts of Barber County, US 82, this is all south of US 82, County Road 49, just to the west of you all, and Grant Brothers Road, and that includes, as Kaylee just said, Comer, and that gets in that area there around the intersection there, and Comer Loop area as well. Those neighborhoods here should all be in a safe spot. This doesn't take the same direction. As you can see, each scan is moving it quickly, and it changes a little direction. That's why we have to stay on it until we can get on there. I'm going to try to get a better, let's kind of pull up just a little bit more here. So there you go. It's already moving towards Comer. And so I need all you guys here in the Comer. If you're Grant Road southwest towards 49, you're clear. Just letting you know. So you guys are clear. Mary Smith Road area, where it comes into Comer. Seek shelter now, immediately. And we're going to take it out to Spring Hill Road area as well. But Comer at 57 minutes, you're talking just less than 5 minutes out, folks. So, so that 5 minutes out, you could see some damage from this potential tornado here. And that's what we're looking at here. So let me go back here. Kaylee, I'm going to let you kind of jump up. I'm seeing a lot of storm damage.
That's right. We have homes damaged from the tornado warning earlier in Chambers County. We also have a trailer park damage from near Vita Junction in Alabama earlier. I know that was a confirmed tornado earlier today. We also have trees on the road from possible tornadoes and many reports of almost dime-size hail.
And this, again, the only one in the news reviewing area has been Chambers County, as Kaylee just told us. But again, reports come in later. This is from this physical round that came in East Alabama first. We're now on the end of it, and this is what we're dealing with now until this passes. We're going to get a little break, but there's still going to be more coming. So now we got. Let's go back up here. You can see. Go ahead. Yeah, right there through Tuskegee. You can see some of the storm damage, hail, and tree damage as it starts to move farther west. So Tuskegee. Macon County, shorter area. You are in a severe thunderstorm warning now. Everything's moving really fast to the east. There could be some strong damage and wind. If you're in Beauregard, this is not a tornado, but if you're in Beauregard, just be prepared. And this would be Marvin. Everything north of 80, the severe thunderstorms coming into south of you. In Smith Station again, you're going to get one more round here. Potential of seeing some strong damage and wind. And we're going to watch that. We'll keep an eye on that. But the tornado down here, the threat continues just around Comer. If you are in this area around the County Road 49 in Barber County, should already been seeking shelter. This is a Comer Loop, we call it. It's like the little beltway on the east side and southeast of Comer. And it wraps right around Comer, and this comes just south of 82, US 82. It is moving towards Mary Smith Road right now, and there could be some good rotation with this or some strong damage and wind leaving County Road 49. It's just to the east of you. If you're in the Grant Brothers Road area as well, Comer, you should still be seeking shelter, but we're looking more southeast of you now, which includes the Mary Smith Road, and it's moving rapidly towards our areas just to the north of this as we get into areas into the next county. But we still got some time in here in northeast Barber County. We still got to look to the south of this too. And that's showing some strong winds too. So the McGall area, Bond Road area, you're clear. The Elam Church Road area should be seeking shelter now. you guys should be seeking shelter at this point south of Garmin Crossroads.
And Bob, the tornado warning for Bullitt County has been allowed to expire. So if you are in Bullitt County, Alabama, you are clear for right now. The tornado warning is continuing for Barber County until 5:30 Central Time. So this is a thunderstorm capable of producing tornadoes. We are seeing evidence of rotation right now in 2 places, and we'll continue to track those. These are not confirmed tornadoes on the ground, just radar indicated tornadoes with some storm rotation that we can see here on our velocity radar.
Yeah, and that was around the Boot, if anyone knows the Boot Hill area, it's about 12 miles like south right now, about south miles. Now it's moving northeast of that, of Midway, moving northeast at about 40. Let's change the tornado parameter. Let's go here, and we'll go ahead and change it to 40 miles per hour. Now I double click it, and yeah, just it'll open, and we'll go 40 instead of 24. This is speeding up, and we'll take that, and I'll go back over here, and then we'll pull back on that because it's starting to tighten up again. Basically, what's happening here, folks, it weakens, and then it starts to rotate and becomes a tornado again. Tornadoes don't stay in there all the time. They go up in a cloud, they come back down, they come up and down, and we got to keep following it. It's just the nature of what they do. So what we'll do on that one, just so, yeah, click off. We'll take it from Comer area is clear now. The circulation is just to the neighborhoods to the east of Comer. And if you're in the county road north of here, the Spring Hill Road area, Poplar Springs Road, you're clear at this point, but it is crossing right now, literally crossing US 82 and coming across these areas now. And it's going in the exact same track here. Many neighborhoods up through the Spring Hill Road area. If you're up and off of Spring Hill Road, those are the areas you want to seek shelter as this keeps tightening up. It's going to go northeast of Mary Smith Road right now, and it's continuing to go right across US 82 and moving towards David Jones Spur. And this will continue all south of Club 16 Road. So when you get out of this area here going towards Jones Court or Jones Center, it'll lift northeast. And eventually we'll see how this behaves and goes into areas around Russell County. There is some strong winds north of this. And as this moves eastward, maybe that'll cut down the energy of this. Hopefully it will, because there's strong gusty winds north of that from an outflow boundary. So a lot of times you see that. That should clear first, but I wish it would intersect so it would just kind of break this thing apart, but it looks like it may make it there first. And then we got to watch it going into Russell, and then we'll see what Stewart County does too. We've seen damage reports rolling in across our central Alabama counties, mainly trees down, a lot of trees down, and hail reports. We have not seen that here with this one. As far as hail, that's good news. We minimize the hail threat, but what we do have is some weak rotation on these two that are producing potential tornadoes and damage. If these get over an area, and when we saw that tightening, if there was something there, it would definitely, and it looked like there could have been a little debris for a short time, so there's a potential to be some trees down in these areas, extreme northwest part of Barber County, and I wouldn't be surprised to probably see some, and people will say, what was all that? It was just that area. I'm glad it doesn't appear to be constantly on the ground, which is good news. And but it is ebbing and flowing, and we're staying with it because of that. So that's north, and then all east of Midway, you are clear. And as Kaylee Barbie just pointed out, she said nothing in Bullock County. We're out of Bullock. We get south of 51. See how this is now circulating more south trajectory. So if you're south of Stinky Creek Road down this area, Williams Mill Pond Road residents to County Road areas 49, the Gulledge Mill Road area, all north of that, should be probably hunkering down right now. County Road 49 in Barber County, which takes you all the way to State Lake Road. Just keep that in mind. If you're South Road 2 in Barber County, should seek shelter as well. This is south of Mount Scylla Church Road, going into County Road 49 as well. So keep that in mind. And that intersects up the Grant Road, and then that's all south of Comer. But it looks like Comer, you get almost like a second round here. This is northeast of Comer, this first rotating system. South of County Road 49, headed towards Spring Hill Road. And you could see a little bit of this starting to twist a little bit more again, probably a little bit of tightening there, Kaylee, again, as you can see.
Yeah, and if we put a track on it, you can see that it will be in Glenville by 5:17 Central Time. That is only 17 minutes to get to your safe place. If you are not already in your safe place, please get you and your loved ones into the lowest level of your house. And if you do not have a 2-level or a basement, get into the innermost room of your house so that you can be prepared for these storms when they start to move through. And this includes Spring Hill Road. This will start to move over this road in just a few minutes, actually, and David Jones Spur Road as well. And then we'll start to see this move into even Barber Creek Road in the next few minutes, Jones Circle, Cold Ridge Road as well, Perry Well Road. If you would live on any of these roads in any of these neighborhoods, please take shelter now. Glenville, stand by. If this is extended, you will be included in this warning as well. So please tune in to the News 3 team. Cook Road, you are included in this as well. Right now, we are seeing tightening with this rotation, but there is no confirmed tornado on the ground. This is just storm and radar indicated rotation right now. So Spring Hill Road, once again, County Road 49, you are almost in the clear. If you are in Comer, you are almost in the clear as well. But you do have a secondary system moving through State Route 51 right now, just south of Mount Andrew, and this is heading your way in just a few minutes. And if I put a track on this, you'll see that it will be in Comer by 5:16, so you only have 15 minutes to stay in your safe place. Do not exit your safe place if you are there. Stay there because you have a second round coming in just a few minutes. It will be in Batesville by 5:20 p.m. Central Time, and this will travel along County Road 49, so if you are on this road, please be aware, pull over if you do see any wind, any damage, and drive safely because you could also see some very heavy rain, heavy wind, and even hail with these storms moving through. Tornadoes are not our only risk tonight as we head into the overnight. And even with this first round, we will have a second round tomorrow, so we have another 24 hours until we are in the clear, and that will be around 1 p.m. tomorrow. We do have a weak area of rotation up here, just exiting this tornado warning, but it's not tightening up too much. Let me put a track on that as well. So 5:03 p.m. Central Time for Pittsview, Laughlin by 5:16. All of these storms are moving very, very fast, about 45 miles per hour. And once again, we can see this tight rotation near Glenville, 5:19 p.m. So stay in your safe place. If this warning is extended, you will be included in that.
Good job, Kaylee. And as Kaylee's still pointing out there, we're watching this. We got all our reporters. Chuck Williams is checking fervently to make sure any residents that he's familiar with down in Barber County. We have folks up in Chambers County right now from the tornado warning that we had and straight line winds. We got all the damage reports coming in there now, and that's why we're on about an hour and a half ago. So Chambers County, we're hearing that some residential homes were greatly impacted. We'll keep you posted on that coming up on News 3. We got you covered. Want everyone to be safe. That's the main thing. If you see any of these, the main thing is, again, to get as low as you can, the lowest level as you can, more walls between you and the outside, never be on a high level, and always be really low if you could do that. We look at this moving quickly, as Kaylee just said. It's moving at 40 miles an hour at the surface as we're tracking, and this is lifting north and east of here. So we are, okay, so are we out there right now? Okay, we are sending, we have a crew going out to Chambers County. I'm being told, too, there's been report a lot of damage up there, and that's when Kaylee and I were on the air alerting our folks first up there in Chambers County. That was important. Coming up here, we just pray everybody's okay. Don't like these kind of situations, but again, this is moving northeast here. These are small cells. It appears that now this one right here will continue to go in Russell County. I don't know if we're saying anything yet on that, Kaylee. If
they haven't called it yet. Okay. They are just talking about the weakening of that southern storm just north of Clayton. So that is good news for people near Comer. You might not see a second round, but we are going to keep an eye on that. This storm right here, just north of Comer, that just passed through near County Road 49, they have not called that they're going to extend that warning. Okay, so in that respect, we're going to be hyper-focused here at David Jones Spur, Spring Hill Road. If you're in this line, Barber Creek Road, this is northeast Barber County, seek shelter immediately. This is right before you get over towards the county line. Please seek shelter immediately right through there as Kaylee is extending the track to Glenville. If you're in the Glenville area, 16 minutes after the hour Central Time. Hirsch at 22 minutes after the hour. Potential tornado and damaging wind. Omaha, we're going to go into Stewart County now. We're kind of holding off. We're going to track that as a severe thunderstorm warning. Holy Trinity at 5:34. Upper Bradley Place till 37 minutes after the hour 6. It's Eastern Time once we get it out into Stewart County. This is still Barber County. The tornado warning
but will continue as a severe thunderstorm warning as it comes into Glenville. That means damaging wind is very likely coming into this area, and so we want everybody to seek shelter as well. And that includes you, even though we have no warning in Stewart County in Georgia yet, but there will likely be. If not, just keep in mind, Omaha, that you should just be in a hyper look. And in fact, it's just clipping that. It's running the county, but it's going up all the way to Holy Trinity, which I think that would indeed pull us back here a little bit. Kaylee, let me see if we can widen out just a bit. I'm sorry. I know I want to be local. I just wanted to see. Yeah, so it would take it kind of southeast Russell. And, you know, the trajectory that can change at any time as it goes north and east of there. Tuskegee, I feel bad. We're leaving our Macon County residents out here, but going back, there hasn't been anything substantial enough to say, but this is from earlier, the hail reports, wind damage from Tuskegee all the way back to Shorter. We can hit, and I'm going to come back over here as we're showing you the radar. Let's go over here and get some local storm reports. I want to see, and we haven't yet see much yet over in parts of Chambers County, but Kaylee's got more information that she can let us know. Anything on there yet? Let's see.
Yeah, we actually were just told that there have been no damage reports, thankfully, in Barber County right now. That's from Chuck Williams.
Great.
Talking to David Logan. Thank goodness we have had no damage reports so far in Barber County, but they have. They are keeping an eye on the Russell storm and for possible tornado tag. And even though we do have just a severe thunderstorm warning following that tornado warning, there is still a tornado possible tag on that. So there is still rotation within the storm. We do want to remind people of that. Stay in your safe place. We are not out of the clear just yet, and we will still continue to see severe weather potential even into tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon. So we are in for an active night. And please stay tuned with the News 3 weather team as we keep you updated and we try to keep you safe.
There you go. And we can't, never let your guard down. Have that safe place here as these two storms continue to roll out of Barber County. And if we continue to see this coming into areas around Russell County. This is the Cold Ridge Road area, the David Jones Spur, as we mentioned, coming into that area as well. We go back into this as far as we look at the circulation, because this helps us understand where the potential tornado is. And there we go. We still get the circulation on both of these scans. I'm going to see here for a moment. Again, I'm going to see if we could go to. I'm going to see if we can go to. Let's try to get. See Maxwell. We'll take Maxwell off. We'll go to get rid of Robbins, and we're going to go to Fort Rucker. Yeah, stay in Fort Rucker here. And what we do this is that's radar to the south. It's getting a better scan of this, and that's where the potential tornado is, and if not, some damaging wind right through there. And again, we've seen it circulate and kind of undercut itself through here. And what we look for, if it gets anything stronger, which we don't want to let our guard down, when we see it kind of go like this, that's when we got ourselves a pretty serious situation. Doesn't mean that this couldn't be dropping down and still bringing some areas of debris. I saw a little debris. Could have just hit an area unpopulated with some trees, and that's why we have to keep you all updated as we do that. So we continue to track the center of this, and we take it past these areas outside of Glenville. This comes close to like the Jernigan area, and this is the areas that are right around areas around Russell County and Glenville, and that's when it crosses US 431. So we're still talking northeast Barber County right now. And before you know it here, it's going to be cutting across and exiting Barber County. And then we still got to the south, another area of rotation. And this is the White Oak Way. There's Dixon Road, south of State Lake Road. That's the area where we're looking at the circulation with this as well, too. And if not, some strong winds coming up through here as it continues on that same track, more in the southern portion. It's running the same track, the same trajectory, but at more of a southern latitude here. So there you go. And up in northeast, this is becoming more and more broad, and it looks like it's trying to work itself in with a little bit more circulation again over here. So if you're in the Spring Hill Road area, County Road 49, you're clear. If you're in the areas, let me get a little closer here in northeast Barber County, keep in mind right around this area, this would be around Jones Circle, David Jones Spur. It's passing over you right now. If you're in Jones Circle in northeast Barber County, seek shelter. The Magoo Flats Road area neighborhood, if you're in and around that road in all those neighborhoods, you know where you're at in Barber County. you should seek shelter, just to play it safe. That's right before we get across the river, and then we get into the Barber Creek Road area, and that's also those neighborhoods there. I would seek shelter immediately. So this would be probably the best way of showing it through here. And there's a little shift of that rotation going a little bit south too. So that takes you all the way to Glenville Highway, and that's where we want everybody to keep in mind, where you want to certainly seek shelter. And that gets in that southern part of Russell County. So we got another update from Kaylee Barbie. I guess we're seeing some more reports coming in. Chuck Williams is checking those out for us.
Yeah, Russell County Sheriff Heath Taylor has confirmed that nothing has touched down so far in Russell County, just radar indicated. And so far, we do not have any damage reports from Russell County as well.
Okay, so the only damage reports we have right now are Chambers County still, and we're going to be certainly reporting on that coming up later today online and show you what happened there. We had some neighborhoods that were greatly impacted, we're hearing. Up there from earlier was more straight line winds. Straight line winds could do just as much damage as tornadoes. If that was the case of those homes there. There was also a tornado as well up through there, so we're not sure if it was a tornado, straight line winds. Doesn't matter, but we got to keep everybody safe with any kind of threatening winds. So the good news is we're not seeing any reports of damage at this point. We're still watching this exit. If this exits here in the next scan, and we're not seeing this continue, let's see what it's going to say right here.
And Bob, we are keeping an eye on a cell in Clay County. Right now it is a severe thunderstorm warning, but they are starting to see that rotation starting to tighten up in Clay County, and they are considering putting a tornado warning for this area and continuing it into neighboring counties. It was broad earlier, but now it is continuing to tighten up as scans continue to go.
In fact, if you put the circle right with that little red, that little tiny right through that, and that is very tightly wrapped. It's more tightly wrapped than we've seen on any of these. Those are when we start looking at that could potentially be easily a tornado. This is north of Bluffton, right along 27, US 27. And we got to watch this closely too, because this is Bebound, the Mill Pond Road area. If you're in this area here, seek shelter quickly. County Road 19, I would do the same. This does have some strong rotation with it, even though right now we're looking at this is a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible. With that headed towards Sutton's Corner, that would bring Ferguson Lane in there as well. If this continues on this trajectory right outside of here, we're going to have to watch areas of Sumter County eventually if it does that. So it would be around Moy would be one area that we know we got a lot of viewers down through here to Shivers Mill. And then we're looking at Carnegie, too, all the way through 26 minutes. And this is all Eastern time, as you know, as we're over on the Georgia side on this one coming down near Clay County. That's Calhoun County right now in Clay, but it's really coming into Clay County here very closely. And then there's Moy right up through here as we get into counties that are just outside. But Clay is in our viewing area as it continues to watch this. Once it comes right around County Road 25, it would be all these neighborhoods around Sutton's Corner. I would just go ahead and seek shelter immediately. Stay off of that second level. Get as low as you can, more central of any dwelling, and enough roads between you and the outside. Kaylee.
Yeah, so they did just continue the severe thunderstorm warning. So that is good news. That means that they did not decide to put a tornado warning for this area. So they are not seeing enough tightening to call that. And we also still have our severe thunderstorm warning in Russell County that also has a tornado possible tag on that. And we still see two areas of rotation, one near State Route 165 heading your way, and also near Holy Trinity, Owens Road, Terminal Road, also headed towards the 101st Airborne Division Road. So this, if you are not in your safe place, please go ahead. And when I put the track on this real quick, we will start to see these areas affected within the next 10 minutes and then move on out of this severe thunderstorm warning. So there is a good chance that they will extend this into neighboring counties within the next few minutes. We do have a second area of rotation just south, which is a little bit weaker, just south of Glenville, near Barber Creek Road, just north of you, and south of Cook Road and south of Glenville Highway, and moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. And once I put a track on this, we'll see it moving near Briar Creek Road towards Glenville by 5:16 Central Time. So that will be near you within the next few minutes, like 1 minute. So if you're not already in your safe place, go ahead and get there. That is right on top of you near McClendon by 5:24 p.m. Central Time. That's about 15 minutes to get in your safe place. And so these storms are moving very fast, about 40 miles per hour. We're also seeing hail, strong winds, And these tornadoes are possible. They are not confirmed. We do not have confirmed tornadoes on the ground, just tornado possibles with these very strong thunderstorms, Bob.
Yeah, and a lot of these areas here, as we're talking about, these reports are coming in, as Kaylee just said. There could be something there, but what's really hard, and as Chuck was calling for us and finding out, this is very remote area, but when it comes out of the remote area, it could go into an area that's populated, but there's a lot of logging, a lot of hunting. There's a big wildlife management area here, so that's why a lot of times you don't say, well, there's no reports, we can't confirm, but we saw a little tree, or maybe some debris or something coming up, but that's why we got to stay on it as it continues to move into a populated area. But again, that area is very remote, and good news is still make sure, I hope nobody out there is out there doing anything and they're impacted by that. So if you know anyone out that area that might be hunting or doing anything, you know, if you could buzz them and tell them, hey, you know, seek shelter immediately. We're down in Bluffton now, southern Clay County, as Kaylee was just saying, it still has really good rotation with it. This is right south of 27, north of Bluffton. We can go street level a little bit more here too. Fort Gaines, you're clear. Just want to let you know. I know a lot of Fort Gaines viewers. They all the time say, Bob, you know, they'll call in and tell us. So we appreciate you. We want to make sure you know. But right along Georgia State Route 37, this is County Road 19 to Chuley Road area, Sutton's Corner. I would go ahead and just seek shelter. If you're in Moy, we said this about 10 minutes ago. I would still seek shelter in Moy to be safe. This is Georgia State Route 216. And that is all lifting north and east at 40 miles per hour. Tornado possible, but again, we're not seeing any hail with that really at this point, and that's some good news. But again, some times in this that Kaylee is measuring here for us brings us to Carnegie about 26 minutes after, Shivers Mill 31 minutes after, Goff's Mill 35 minutes after, and I always make sure I say this right. Say it for me, Phil. Was it Pachitla, or could you say that for me? Is that you? Do you know that name? I want to make sure I don't butcher. I do this all the time for these folks, but I want to make sure folks are listening. If you're listening, that's what I'm talking about. Pachitla. There's different ways. Pachitla. I guess it's Pachitla. Shellman at 644. So Pachitla, folks. You know, it's funny. Sometimes these cities will come up, and as many years I've been doing this, I never seen Pachitla, but Pachitla's on there. If you guys know where that area is, please seek shelter immediately. And 44 minutes after for Shellman. We all know where Shellman is, and Shivers Mills. It's a lot of neighborhoods up through here, and this is all west of State Route 41, Georgia State Route 41. We're seeing rotation. It's broad. Kaylee, you can see it we could circle that where the red is to the south and north. So it's not your typical real tight gate to gate, but there's definitely circulation on this, and which would warrant a strong thunderstorm, damaging wind possibly. And if it got a little tighter, it wasn't so broad, I think we'd end up seeing more of a tornado with this kind of upper level circulation, but it still poses that risk. At any time, this could drop a tornado, and that's what we're looking at. So that's why that needs to be watched. But it's very broad right now, and that's good news, but there's still some strong damaging winds that could do a lot of damage, which we're seeing up in Chambers County this afternoon. Those residential homes were impacted by just straight line winds, and likely was with that. We go back up to areas outside of Russell County. We're watching that as a severe thunderstorm warning now. In Macon County, the reason we weren't with you, because my Tuskegee friends out there, you know, you watch Montgomery too, you watch us, we appreciate that. We're not on that because you guys were okay. So we saw that end. It turned out to be some thunderstorm activity, but trust me, if anything affects you, we're there on there as well. The thunderstorms are very intense and heavy right now, so we continue to see that. Now that we're under severe thunderstorm warnings, Kaylee, I'm not seeing anything kind of life-threatening.
No, they're not expecting to issue any tornado warnings at this time. Great news. We just have the severe thunderstorm warnings currently for Russell and parts of Clay. Okay, so what we're going to do right now, I'm going to continue and pick it up here and give the forecast for tonight. This begs the question, anything changes on here? Kaylee is monitoring this now. She's online too with the social news desk. She's keeping everybody updated on all our social platforms. Southern Stewart, you were seeing the severe thunderstorms there. You could see these three lines. It looks like three appendages or three lines of rivers of water. Because what's happening here, we get what's really strong ahead of this front is literally upper level winds like that. And it's kind of steering and directing them. That's just lifting these storms up. So if this was probably like late January, February, that you start seeing more intense, this gets more intense, these kind of patterns. Unfortunately, we are in a severe weather season. It appears this last decade it's been happening more and more end of December, January, and that's just the way it is. And that's the way it's looking, especially with La Nina patterns. We had a little bit of a break
last year, but of course I hope we don't see anything like we did in 2019. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Let's talk about the pattern. Let's talk about tonight. Here's our first round. We're going to go around midnight tonight, okay, right here and stop it. Midnight, we're looking at seeing some of this you could see coming up and firing up again. I don't see this necessarily being severe, but we have to watch it. If that was the case, it'd be very nice that a lot of us can get a little sleep. But somewhere between 3 and 5, though, right around this time, and 7:30, we need to watch this. And again, I'll go back up on the wall because we've got to watch, similar to what we have now, the reactivation of these start to get cellular and discrete again ahead of the squall line where the physical front's still off to the west. So once it continues to go eastward, the front kind of scours the air. Here they are, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock central. We're done. And then we got a secondary front which will back out of here and clear us out of Mississippi, and that'll dry and sustain us with a very nice forecast period through at least Saturday. There you go, okay, which is good. We'll advance it ahead of this one and see where we're at. So we're looking at temperatures anywhere in the upper 60s. We got 70s. Look, we were up to 78 degrees in Eufaula. That's where we were. Now that the rain has been falling down through here, we've been seeing that starting to get down in the lower 70s, mid 70s. The little flashes here, that's your lightning, southeast of Columbus, real heavy in Chatco now. Those are not severe, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning to the south of that. But those, what we're seeing now is more strong, gusty winds. Still take that seriously. We're going to get this first round out of here by the time this stuff comes out of Montgomery. But here's the bottom line. From now to tomorrow morning, we're 2 out of 5. So this is sometimes so confusing. The Storm Prediction Center uses it. Basically, it's more of a confidence factor. So you think out of 5, if you're pink, you're like, this is like really pronounced, like what we had on March 3rd of 2019 in Beauregard. That would be a high. Although that day didn't register a high, but that would be a case of a high or a moderate, okay? What we're looking at is 2. That means everybody in the News 3 viewing area has an equal chance of a brief tornado, strong winds, and flash flooding. That's for sure all the heavy rain we've seen. We've only had one official report, or reports of some damage in our Chambers County. So far, we're fearing to spray. Everybody was okay in that. We haven't heard about any injuries, so that's some good news. But again, this is the overnight, and late tonight we got to watch, because you stay with News 3, even tonight, this evening, and online, if that's an easy way for you to do it, especially at 11:10 Central. Stay with us because we're going to be able to give you a better analysis after that. There's no way that any model right now we can sit there and with the surety and say, this is over, this is good, you're going to be fine. The school districts that delayed or some of the private schools, good move. I mean, I think that's nothing wrong with that. And again, that would make sense. Now, Kaylee wanted to show us this, and Cody was talking about this earlier today, is the amount of rainfall. It's ridiculous. Upstream, we look at 4.33 inches of rain, 2 3/4, 1.6. And of course, you start seeing upstream where some of the dams are releasing more heavy now. And North Highland has been releasing. It's a little bit fast now, too, because the Army Corps of Engineers and Georgia Power like to release that to leave enough room in the areas of the detention areas of water upstream in the lakes. If more and more water fills in it over time, we can't really be determined or even get an idea how this will affect river levels coming up. So just for any of our recreators, and by the end of the week, we'll keep you posted on that. But there's still a potential of that river coming up a little bit higher than we wanted to see. But we do get some days drying, especially before our big half marathon in Columbus this Saturday. So that's some good news. That's the Red Nose Run. So looking at all that being said, these can change at any given spot. This is just a rough analysis based on thunderstorm activity. So where we see the severe thunderstorm warning now coming out of Russell County, and it looks like it could come into Chatco, maybe clip parts of Stewart, that with all the lightning is enhanced rain. So that rate of rainfall is coming down quite heavily, maybe up to at least we saw. I think you could click on that too. I think we can see that, Kaylee, if you just go to Corey Info. And by the way, Kaylee Barbie is working with us now. She's doing a phenomenal job. She's our Mississippi State grad student, and we're real pleased to have her on staff. So everybody's a lot of new faces. You're probably wondering, who's she? You can catch her every Saturday, Sunday morning too, and she's a wonderful addition on our team and doing a great job. So you could see that the rate of rainfall here, Kaylee, I think anywhere from 3 to half an inch. Maybe.
Yeah. 3 to half an inch so far. 60 mile per hour wind gusts reported. And also, I just want to point out that they have extended that severe thunderstorm warning into parts of Randolph and Calhoun County.
Okay.
So we will continue to see those strong winds into Randolph County. So if you're not already in your safe place in Randolph County, go ahead and get in it. You could see hail upwards of 3/4 of an inch, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and there is a tornado possible tag on this, and this is until 7:15 Eastern time.
And as Kaylee was pointing out, Benevolence and Cuthbert are clear. So if you're in Cuthbert and Benevolence, very populated here, more Cuthbert, I should say, you guys are okay in Randolph County. But as Kaylee's pointing out, Parrott and Dawson, seek shelter, kind of treat this as anything you would want to see in any kind of situation like this. Let's go to J.R. Allen Parkway, because we're talking about this rate of rainfall, and with that causes a lot of hazard. We had Hannah James, you can catch it at WRBL.com, did a breakdown of how your tires should be checked, windshield wipers. This is live WRBL dash cam video coming to you now on J.R. Allen. You can see how slow the traffic is. I'm not sure if there's an accident or is it just that people are using extra caution. Hopefully they're using extra caution. This is the most dangerous part of our deep south that we talk about. Even Interstate 185, even in the 280, we had that fog the other day. We had a 13-car pileup this weekend in areas around Lee County and Russell County. Take it seriously, folks. We want to drive so fast down here, and it just can't. You just cannot when the roads are saturated with water. So that's a good sign. I'm hoping there's no accident, but if this is people using caution, 2 thumbs up. That's the way you want to see it. So if you're wondering why somebody's taking a while to get home, take your time. There's no severe weather there, but there's obviously very wet roads, and that is a hazard. So Vista Terrace and all these areas that Kaylee was pointing out, Eelbeck, Box Springs, Juniper, once again to Taylor County, Upatoy, we're watching that too. Of course, you get a little bit enhanced or isentropic lift. We get higher up in elevation from County Line Road. We call it right here the Panhandle of Muskogee. That produces some pretty heavy rain. You see the red reflectivity enhanced by that thunderstorm. You see little squiggly lines of thunder. Rate of rainfall is pretty heavy, and that could cause some areas with poor drainage to see standing water and local flash flooding. Let's go to the next slide here, and once we get off of this, we'll continue this forecast as we see what's else happening here. As once this continues to move east, we'll watch Shellman down there as well. We need to watch Plains and Americas too. We'll keep an eye on that. There's another line of storms. It looks like they're Kaylee's starting to regenerate, doggone it. I was hoping that would weaken. So
yeah, those temperatures are starting to warm up, so we're already
they're warming
seeing...
up again in the 70s. We just can't cool down, right?
Yeah.
This is a warm air mass, super. So if you're Macon County, Tuskegee, we'll watch you this time again in this next round. Union Springs, let's watch for some of those that are intensifying. And the nature of the way all 3 of these have been, these lines, under this big first wave. Once that passes, that's our little break. We'll talk about it. But we were saying to 8 o'clock tonight. I think meteorologist Coy Nichols saying it too. It's going to be to about 8 o'clock. And it's probably right. I mean, we're looking at this probably not the first round to get out of here at least 8 Eastern time, 7 Central. So let's go to the next one. We'll go ahead and complete this to see where the progress of this forecast is and show you what's going on. But again, this is still seems to be the central one, the severe storm out of that. This is a forecast analysis now. Again, looking at tomorrow morning, we'll stop it here. This is the last part, 7:30, 6:30 Central, and as it tilted southwest and northeast, when it's tilted like this, many times this causes a lot of rotation, and we don't want this at all, so we need to watch it in the morning. This is at 7:30, 6:30 Central. It scours it out. We clear in the afternoon. Let's see what happens after this as we continue to move onward here. And you can see clear conditions. We've got some clear skies coming in and a great forecast ahead for our Wednesday afternoon and for our Thursday. We'll be real pleased with that. We'll go ahead again and advance to the next one. And yeah, it takes a second. Our computer's a little lagging here.